Floss Tube. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I have a new cross stitch book to share with you. I don't generally do videos about books that I wouldn't buy for myself, but this one, I was so tempted by the concept. It is Lit Stitch, 25 cross stitch patterns for book lovers. I'm totally a book lover. I met my husband at the used bookstore I worked for in high school, so books are my thing. And I thought this was so up my alley that instead of waiting and waiting and waiting for the library copy to come in for their self-service checkout in the parking lot, I was tempted to buy it sight unseen, and I'm glad I didn't. I didn't realize when I did first pick up this book, it's by Book Riot, which is a website. I was not familiar with the site until just this morning. I looked through it and found lots of articles I wanted to read, lots of great book recommendations. Their cross-stitch patterns are not as appealing to me. First things first, this book is geared towards beginners. There is 30 pages, literally 30 pages of cross-stitch basics and how to do cross-stitch. I did not read the entire 30 pages because honestly, I don't care that much. One of the tips that I did see was that you can cross stitch on any fabric with a visible weave, which I don't know. I hope that somewhere further on they restated that and told you to count the threads going in each direction, because not all visible weaves are going to give you the kind of cross stitch this book is talking about. It has good illustrations. It has good instructions as far as how to make the X's, and it does go off into no knots, not having a messy back, so it's a regimented kind of cross stitch, and the directions don't matter unless you are buying this book specifically, so it can teach you to cross stitch. If you already know how, you're going to skip them. On to the projects. But first, books. And one of the things about this book, the focus is not on that cross-stitch piece. It is hiding in this very attractive kitchen, which is another thing that I wish there was more focus on the pieces. Read harder. Although these pieces are so basic, they can hide in a corner and you're not losing the gist of what it is. Readers do it between the covers. It's a cute sentiment. It's not something I would put the effort into stitching for my wall. What is this? Bookworm. That one says, "Do you even read, bro?" And again, it is totally hidden. Readers resist. There's a definite vibe to this book that isn't me. Stacks on Stacks. I could like that one if the books were old-looking books, maybe in different colors. Book Life. There is no enjoyment like reading. Bring Your Own Book. Read a book, and I'm sure you can guess what I'm covering up. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm gets mad at visuals, but yeah. If I was going to stitch that for a friend who would appreciate that sentiment, I'd pick a prettier pattern. Books. This one's called Read the Rainbow. I have always imagined that paradise is a library. Again, I like the sentiment. Seasons Readings is super cute, but it comes down to on the things I like that I wouldn't invest the time in stitching them. Okay, this one I like. ISBN Thinking of You. It's got this cute vintage Valentine vibe, and I like it a lot. And it does, if it was bookstore and not library, which of course with that sentiment it couldn't be, then I would stitch it, but Read 'em and Steep is another one of the really cuter designs. I don't drink tea. I have loathe, hate, and despise tea. Books and Coffee. Okay, Treat Your Shelf is a really cute sentiment. I like that one. Bookosaurus. For a friend who is a children's librarian or a children's author, I wouldn't have gone to that much effort for, my kids weren't into dinosaurs enough. More books, less. Again, I'm covering up the profanity, mild profanity. And that's more because of the YouTube algorithm than because I'm deeply offended. It feels good to be a reader. And if I was going to stitch something from this, I like this one. I like I Read Dead People. That is super cute. Probably my favorite out of the book. Read or Die. And then Books, 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 which is the cover image. So it's a nice book. The charts are clear and would be easy to follow. It just isn't a book full of stuff I personally want to stitch. I'm doing the video because, hey, this might be exactly what you are looking for, and if it is, I want to help you find it. If you want to see more flip-throughs of cross-stitching, knitting, and quilting books, I will put the link to my Sewing Room Bookshelf playlist in the description box down below. Go check those out if you're interested. Some of them are books I've bought myself, some are from the library, some are thrift store finds, but I do try to put together the ones that I think you will enjoy or that I can recommend. And like I said, I don't not recommend this. It's just not patterns that scream louder for me to stitch them than all the other patterns I already have printed out. Night Spirit Studios has an awesome Just One More Page freebie. I will put a link to that down below too. If you are looking for bookish things to stitch, that one looks like a lot of fun. I'm Michelle. This is my Romantic Tangle. Thank you so much for watching.